say? Live now. Go.
Beautiful colors, radiance expelled by hues of you. I'm so amazed by the colors of your love. Your copper kisses and golden charm, the lavender that finds me in your arms, the colors of your love. From your reddest passion to your bluest calm, right down to the spectrum that is your heart. These are the colors of your love.
Oh, I am like all the way.
Colors, radiance expelled by hues of you. I'm so amazed by the colors of your love.
Making you drowsy? Alright, well,
I try to speak, I've lost the words. Your colors have captivated my heart right to the inner man.
that's when you're supposed to like, Pandora, we're not on Facebook.
The colors of love you need,
We're on YouTube.
you find inside of me. The colors I need are found in you.
Facebook been tripping all day.
Beautiful colors, radiance expelled by hues of you. I'm so amazed by the colors of your love. Beautiful colors, radiance expelled by hues of you. I'm so amazed by the colors of your love.
I like that joint. That joint crank. I'm live now. I'm on Facebook. Hey.
Should I compare you to the sun? No, baby, because the sunlight's just too much for me. At times it seems, but I'm at home with
You definitely want to always say if you know who the artist is.
Yeah,
I've been having the artists come in on our
cause the moonlight's
you know, trying to
always
give it
right, just right for me. You see the oceans and altar. I watch you moving across it, something sweet. It's like you're walking on water. A piece of something divine made just for me. Got me trembling and shaking from anticipating the moment you shine your light on me. There's nothing I'd rather do than spend an evening with you. So when the sun's going down, I come alive. Because when the moon comes up, hey, oh, there will be time for us, yeah, yeah, baby. And it's never long enough, but I'll take my time in love with the way you shine. So every single night I'll wait for the moon to rise. Now every moment has an end, but letting go don't come easy, no. Though I know I'll see you again before too long. And even as this day begins, I find myself dreaming about you touching on my skin. Yeah, you see the oceans and altar. I watch you moving across it, soft and sweet. It's like you're walking on water. A piece of something divine made just for me. Got me trembling and shaking from anticipating the moment you shine your light on me. There's nothing I'd rather do than spend an evening with you. So when the sun's going down, I come alive. Because when the moon comes up, hey, oh, there will be time for us, yeah, yeah, baby. And it's never long enough, but I'll take my time in love with the way you shine. So every single night I'll wait for the moon to rise.
You are now listening to Goddess of the Nile Radio.
It is your birthright to accept and receive the goodness of the world, the tools to create your destiny, the love and nourishment from others, a life of abundance, days filled with propositions, manifested success coming from places that serve you, manifested success poured into your life and the lives of others. You are guided and given the authority to receive the gifts of the universe, for these gifts have already been given to you long before your arrival here. Your faith in yourself makes it real and opens the doors for manifestation to rush in. Your consciousness is open to receive and to give. It is your birthright, and it is done now.
You are now listening to Goddess of the Nile Radio.
Through this mantra of manifestation, all things are possible. We proclaim absolutely that all of us are living in a friendly universe that is always providing for us. We have felt it happening and we are feeling it happening now. We are open to receive more abundance than we have ever experienced before. We can afford and do anything that our heart desires. We need never to worry again. We are filled with an attitude of gratitude for what we already have and all that we are giving and ready to give. We keep ourselves lifted in high consciousness no matter what the appearances are. The universe is always providing in our favor. We are creators of our today and our tomorrow.
Reciting a mantra is an excellent way to start your day. Calm you down while you are upset and refocus your consciousness. For a copy of this mantra, please feel free to visit our Patreon account by searching for Goddess of the Nile Radio on patreon.com. It's your girl Azor Netarugaya, and I'm out. Peace. You are now listening to Goddess of the Nile
Radio.
I wish I could hear it louder. I can't get height. It's too low. Is my microphone on? I'm hearing myself. Oh, shoot.
I can teach you how to stretch your mind one time. We can just sit here, get high off life. I can show you the whole universe inside of you. Now, meditate. I can teach you how to stretch your mind one time. We can just sit here, get high off life. I can show you the whole universe inside of you. Now, meditate. Sit down. Don't worry about trying to cross your legs or anything like that. I just want you to get comfortable. Close your eyes and relax. That's right. Now, take a moment to collect yourself. Now tell me, have you ever met yourself? First off, I think we need to discuss what meditation really is. Some think of it as time to relax or an opportunity to face their fears. I ain't saying those thoughts aren't right, but those are more like bonuses. Why shoot for a piece of the pie when we can have co-ownership? I started out looking for some sort of sign, then I heard somebody whisper, let me open up your mind. Don't get blinded by the lights, there's more here for you to see than myself. Said to self, take some time and look for me. You got everything you need to get anything you want, but first I gotta help you to remember what you are. He said everything without is the same as what's within. Then she told me to let go of all my doubts and start again. Breathe in. Release. Now stop trying to control it and just observe as the breath flows in and out. I want you to notice that the body continues to breathe on its own with no direction from you. Now I want you to realize that the thing that observes the breath is something different from the thing that is breathing. You are the thing that hears but not the ears. I can teach you how to stretch your mind one time. We can just sit here, get high off life. I can show you the whole universe inside of you. Now meditate. I can teach you how to stretch your mind one time. We can just sit here, get high off life. I can show you the whole universe inside of you. Now meditate.
There we go. We're back on. Shout out to the control room. Pandora is in the building. She's like my favorite manager and producer and all around girl in the whole wide world. Shout out to Big Tiz, DJ Big Tiz on the ones and twos, dropping that independent music. Shout out to the tribe, the Gods of the Nile Radio tribe. Thank you to everyone watching me from Bermuda, Atlanta, Florida, good Lord, Canada, California, South America, Chile is in the building, Afghanistan is in the building. What's up, y'all? Shout out to the mayor of DC, Joe Jackson is in the building. My brother John is in the building. Masani's in the building. Yo, all my people are in the building. I'm in the building too. Yeah, I'm in the building too. I am amped up today. I'm amped up each and every Sunday because this is the time where we can talk spirituality, right? This is the time where we can talk about who we are as alien beings, spiritual beings. You know, this is what makes us like so wonderful and so great and so grand because we have the freedom to believe in whatever it is we want to believe in. We're not stuck in some old measly box where we're told what to do. You know, we're not stuck in some old measly box where, you know, this is our family and we got to deal with it. As spiritual beings having a human experience, we pick and choose our own family.
We pick and choose our own energy frequency. We pick and choose our own reality. That's why they hate on us so much. So here today on Gossip Nile Radio, we're going to be talking about Trumpinomics. And I'm not getting into no CNN, no MSNBC. I'm talking about Trumpinomics, meaning the era of what we're living in today, the frequency of life that we're living in today. That's what we're going to get into. Because for my older babies, my 70s babies like myself, or my 80s babies like myself, we grew up in the middle of Reaganomics. And we all know that Reaganomics was the destruction, a part of the destruction, and the war on drugs was actually an attack on our community. And Trumpinomics is almost the same sort of thing. It's an attack on our community, but more so as a whole, all over the world. There's Trumpinomics going on all over the world, and the attack is happening to the indigenous people, the original people, people that look like me and people that look like you. There are people in Brazil that are being attacked for being spiritual, for having crystals, for having sage, for praying, for speaking in their ancient language. Like, they want us to stop. They're trying their best to slow us down during this beautiful age of Aquarius. But you know what? They can't do it. They can't do it. That's the part that we have to always remember. And like in the beginning of the show, when you hear the manifestation mantra, you always hear that the universe is always providing in our favor no matter what the appearances are. And that's the same thing with our spiritual awakening with the age of Aquarius. We are awakening, baby, no matter what the appearances are, okay? Can I get an ashe? Oh, I'm so excited today. My eyes are watering because it's allergy season. And I want to like take in all of this sage, but I'm like, my eyes are watering. I don't know if I can make it through. So I'm gonna get my eyes together and take a breather, because they are burning, honey, they are burning. Big T is like, your eyes burning? I'm like, yes, child. Woo, okay. So we're gonna talk about what Trumpinomics is, what it is to me, my own personal opinion of what Trumpinomics is. Trumpinomics is the attack on our spiritual awakening in its whole. And the first thing I want to talk about when we're talking about Trumpinomics is I want to talk about that wall that he's building and what my personal opinion is on why that wall is so important to him. Now, as a meeting planner, I would travel the United States from city to city, you know, doing site visits, holding conferences, and all kinds of wonderful, amazing stuff. But since I was working in the arts world, in the literary arts world, you know, the literary arts world, if you're an author, you know that particular world, the Master of Fine Arts world, is a world of people that do not look like us. So they travel to these cities that we wouldn't normally visit, like San Diego, not San Diego, but like San Antonio, like Portland, Oregon, like, you know, like Tampa, Florida. Like, we would never have a conference there in those places. When I visit those places are absolute ghost towns. So all of my people who live in the Maryland, DC, Virginia area, if you guys go to Baltimore, you know how creepy Baltimore feels, how abandoned Baltimore is. These are how these major cities are all across the United States of America. And what's happening is that the people who are living there, who are inhabiting these cities, who are Caucasian people, they're leaving their cities because there are no jobs, and they're moving to the East Coast. They're moving into New York, they're moving to Philadelphia, they're moving closer into the inner city. And what's happening is gentrification is happening. Loss of jobs are happening. You know, and we're forced to figure out how to get along. And what's happening with us is that, or what's occurring with us is that we are used to working amongst others. We're used to working in a diverse environment, but we have people that's coming out of the mountains, coming out of the hills, coming out of their privileged neighborhoods and schools, and they don't know how to work with us. You know what I mean? So that's a part of Trumpinomics. Now, the reason why they're building that wall, or my personal opinion why they're building that wall, is not to keep our brothers and sisters out. They're building that wall to keep us in, to keep us inside. Because what's happening when our brothers and sisters are beginning to cross those lines, what's happening is that they're bringing spiritual tools with us. They're bringing ancient language with them. They're bringing sage with them. They're bringing Florida water with them. They're bringing ancient prayers and meditation practices with them. They are coming across those lines and they're teaching us. And we are in turn exchanging information. We're breaking bread with our brothers and sisters from Mexico, from Honduras, from Jesus Christ, from Nigeria. We are breaking bread and we're learning about our ancestors through these communities, through our powwows, through, you know, these gatherings. Especially shout out to the Indigenous Peoples Movement. You know, the Indigenous People Movement is opening up the conversation where you have Native Americans, in air quotes, you have Native Americans on the reservations, coming out of the reservations and holding conversations with the lost ones, with the Moors, with the people who were put into the system, thinking that they were blacks or slaves or from Africa when they're actually from this land. So there's a lot of conversation that's going on out here in these streets. And what's happening is that a lot of our indigenous people, they're able to move freely across the border. They got their passport, they can come in, they can leave, they can stay for however long as they want to. They're bringing people from the United States over to the islands and teaching them how to go into the jungles and how to survive off of, you know, plants and stuff in the jungles. And basically what they want to do is they want to put a stop to that. Because they feel like, okay, so the masses is waking up in the United States at an alarming rate. We got to do everything possible to stop this. So we got to keep the people who have the information, we got to keep them out. And that's pretty much what's going on. They're trying to keep them out and trying to keep us in so they can continue the programming that's going on in our television sets, in our schools, in our music. It's all around us. Programming is definitely all around us. So that's what Trumpinomics means to me. It means like the age or the era that we're coming into. It is the age of Aquarius, but it's the whole mission to stop the mass awakening that's taking place. All right, so I'm gonna let all of that swirl around in your beautiful, gorgeous mind. And what I want you guys to do is I want you to clear your spaces, maybe say a little prayer, maybe move around some energy, you know, silence yourself, get really, really comfortable, phone a friend, like, share, comment on this video, on this live broadcast. And we'll be right back after the music break, and we're going to get into parenting or living and existing in the age of Trumpinomics. I am your hostess with the mostest, Azor Netarugaya, and I will be right back. Peace.
Ceiling, bending over backwards, wishing life were different, like a loss. Try to drown the noise out, tuning out the whole world. Now my heart is tango, in and out. Nights like these when I can barely sleep, I say the words my mom said to me. Everything here will come full circle, circle, circle. Everything here will come full circle. Give it some time, just give it some time. Everything here will come full circle. Everything here will come full circle. Everything here will come full circle. Give it some time, just give it some time. Open up the window, try and let the light in. I promise not to give up, not today. Walking on the sidewalk, wow, it's such a big world. I hope I found the right words make it. Life is what you make it, what you make it. Round and round and round and round, twisty-turny, upside down. Life is what you make it, what you make it. Everything here will come full circle. Everything here will come full circle. Give me some time, just give me some time. Everything here will come full circle. Everything here will come full circle. Everything here will come full circle. Give me some time, just give me some time. I feel like I could touch the sun, yeah. And I know I'm not the only one, yeah. Cause I can feel it coming back now, coming back down, coming back for me, yeah. Coming back now, coming back around, coming back for me. She said, tell me what are we here for? Tell me why you think you're alive. Is it just a stop on the highway, on our way to the afterlife? I told her life was a moment in a journey that never ends. We come in looking to find self, then we let it go and come back again. Now don't you get caught up trying to hold on to material things when it's all ours and it's all love, and we're all one and we're all God. But soon you remember what you really are. Cause I feel like I could touch the sun, yeah. And I know I'm not the only one, yeah. Cause I can feel it coming back now, coming back down, coming back for me, yeah. Coming back now, coming back around, coming back for me. Cause I feel like I could touch the sun, yeah. And I know I'm not the only one, yeah. Cause I can feel it coming back now, coming back down, coming back for me, yeah. Coming back now, coming back around, coming back for me. She said, tell me what are we here for? Tell me what are we here for? Tell me why you think you're alive. Yeah, don't overthink it now, brother. Hey, whoa, 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 yeah. Soon you'll remember what you really are, really are, yeah. Sister, 12,000 years we've been traveling. Hey, 12,000 more until we reach the stars. Cause I feel like I could touch the sun, yeah. And I know I'm not the only one, yeah. Cause I can feel it coming back now, coming back down, coming back for me, yeah. Coming back now, coming back around, coming back for me. Cause I feel like I could touch the sun, yeah. And I know I'm not the only one, yeah. Cause I can feel it coming back now, coming back down, coming back for me, yeah. Coming back now, coming back around, coming back for me. She said,
Hey guys! Welcome back to Goddess of the Nile Radio, live right here on the Win DC Radio app, Facebook, and YouTube channel. Yo, I am feeling this Joquan Evans independent artist. He is everything. And thank you so much for submitting your music. Me and Sun was over here dancing and grooving. I lost my rhythm in the shift, but I'm gonna get it back. I'm gonna get it back after I sing. Allergy season is in the building. I want to give a couple of shout outs to Azor Live. I love Azor Live. Make sure you guys follow them on Facebook. They're a wonderful live music band. I haven't played them yet on the show, but I should have their music next week. So look out for Azor Live. Shout out to Divine Soul Creations, the sponsor of my gorgeous crystal jewelry. Today I'm rocking my clear quartz. Yes, God. And of course, if you're in need of any type of spiritual anti-spiritual warfare, I know I said it wrong, but head on over to Bellbook and BlueMagic.com. Get your sage, your Florida water, get your readings by me, girl. Everything you need, child. Everything you need to help yourself in this spiritual situation is, okay? Now let's get into it. Let's talk about parenting, existing, living in the age of Trumpinomics. I cannot jump off this conversation without talking about vaccinations and immunizations, okay? Now listen, y'all gonna have to do some research on the harmful effects of vaccinations and immunizations that they are pumping into our kids from day one. Soon as your baby's born, if you have a son, S-U-N, the first thing they wanna do, they wanna circumcise your kid and they wanna pump drugs into their body off the break, okay? I need for you guys to do your own research. There's so much information that comes from the harmful effects of vaccinations and immunizations that I don't have enough time to talk about it today on the show. But I need you guys to definitely look into it. Now, I know this is a tough issue because some of us are still in the matrix. Some of us do not have our own businesses right now, or we're not able to live outside of the matrix right now, and that's okay, because what we're doing is we're having a mindset, right, tribe? We're having a mindset to build and create something that we can pass along to our 7th generation. Because when we have that, our children will be able to move in this materialistic world without having the need to have those vaccinations and immunizations pumped into their bodies when they're born or pumped into their bodies before they begin school. It's all about the programming. It's all about the system. They actually have us thinking that if they poison us with illnesses that we're going to somehow build up an immune system to fight it off. That doesn't make any sense. What was our ancestors doing? Our ancestors were living to be 300, 200, 1,000 years old, if you will. You know what I mean? And they didn't have immunizations. Where did this stuff come from? You know what I mean? So I need for you guys to kind of dig a little deeper, go down that rabbit hole. Now, I do understand that we still have to live and move in this society, right? Our kids still have to go to school. Keisha down the street, she hasn't set up her daycare center yet, or she hasn't built that school yet. She's still asleep, which is why it's very important that we begin to waken up, guys, so our kids can come out of that system. But anywho, if you do have to have your child vaccinated or immunized, or whatever way if your kids need some shots, right? So if your kids need some shots, what you want to do is after they get those immunizations done or those vaccinations done, you want to put them on a very, very good detox, okay? So I need for you to research that as well. How to healthily and safely detox your kids after a vaccination or immunization shot. Because all we need is the record of it, right? And then we need to be able to clear their bodies of those toxins. What those toxins do is they slow them down. And I've done some research, and you guys can research this too on your own. I feel like the vaccinations that we get at certain hospitals in predominantly Black communities are a little different than what they're receiving out there in Potomac, Maryland. I'm just saying, do your research. I've done my research, and I found that I almost dropped the name. I got to be careful. I did find out that one hospital was actually putting the same ingredients that's in Tide Pods into the baby's immunizations. Yeah, so you definitely have to look into that and go down the rabbit hole. We are literally poisoning our babies just so they can be able to go to a school that is programming them on how to live in this society and basically be not superior, if you get my drift, okay? So we definitely have to figure out what to do when it comes to vaccinations and a safe way to detox our children from all of that poison that we're pumping in their bodies so they can be able to go to school. That's all a part of Trumpinomics, and it's been here forever, since the beginning of time. And now it's getting to the point now where every step of the way, like even my middle son, who's getting ready to go to the university, he has to be pumped with vaccinations and make sure that he has his vaccination records before he's able to live on campus. So like there's still some more programming that's taking place. But all of this does is it slows down their awakening. The vaccinations at the very early age, it helps them to forget. Because when we arrived here on this planet through our beautiful mother's wombs, we were here with a mission. We were here with a purpose. We were here with all of this information. And they're giving us those vaccinations to kind of block the coding, to block the information, to slow us down energetically, okay? So we just got to be on the lookout for that. The second thing I want to talk about when it comes to Trumpinomics is education, our education system. When you are awakened as an adult and you begin to know a lot about education and his story, right? And why English is so difficult for our males, or why mathematics is so difficult for our females. We see through the veil now, through our spiritual awakening. We know the reason why our children are being taught certain things a certain way. Why the whole story of how the colonizers arrived here on Turtle Island, how that whole story is just screwed up. The whole entire story. In doing my history, and I suggest for you guys to do your own history, I have been able to find pictures of like dark melanated males finely dressed in what is known now as Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, in office buildings, in these beautiful buildings. And the year of these pictures is like 1782. And they're finely dressed. They're not ripping and running around with a little cloth, covering their hind parts. Like, these guys are like dressed really nicely. You know what I mean? So what happens to that part of the story, you guys? What's the truth behind that? So we have to kind of go and keep digging, and when something doesn't feel right, a part of your awakening is to go down that rabbit hole and do your research and buy the $500 book. Get a group of people together and buy the book. That $500 book, that $1,200 book can change your whole entire community. That's why it costs so much. Like, really, a book that costs $1,200? Yeah. If you're gonna spend it on Jordans, spend it on a book. Definitely do that. The toughest part about being a parent in this education system is that your children have to be able to make the grades, right? They have to be able to pass their tests, their quizzes, and kind of climb that ladder. They're sort of required to do those type of things. So the part that we have to kind of dance around or figure out or manipulate on our own, or have a strategic plan, is how do we teach our children the truth at home and allow for them to be successful in the matrix system of our education systems, okay? I know that, like, my middle son was raised at a very young age. He was vegan. I don't think he remembers now, but he was eating a vegan diet. And as he began to go to like preschool and things like that, it was like we kind of had to introduce him to meat because that's what everyone else was doing, and we just had to do it. And he wanted the McDonald's, and we just kind of threw the whole vegan thing out the window. Unfortunately at the time we didn't have the information, but we have it now. And that's the hard part, is when you have the information now, and it's like your kids wants McDonald's because in Rome everyone's eating McDonald's, and you have to tell them no. What do you do in that situation? You tell them the truth, and you tell them exactly what that food is. And what ends up happening too is that when that same child that's eating healthy, that's getting the proper education, that's getting that education from you, that's where the proper education comes. It comes first from the home. And then they need to be able to learn how to operate outside of the home, right? In this matrix world. I know that my middle son was targeted a lot in elementary school because of his name. He has a very indigenous name. And some of the teachers judged him based solely off of his name. And they always felt like he was misunderstood. They always felt like he was being disrespected. They always felt like they were always picking on him from elementary school to middle school and a little bit of high school, but not so much, because he was a free thinker. He asked questions, as he should have. He's being raised to, if the teacher is teaching you something and I'm paying taxes, you have every right to ask that teacher a question. Like, these numbers, this timeline isn't adding up. Or why does this word, why does this word have all these several different meanings? And why is spelling called spelling? Am I actually casting a spell? Why do I have to say I am XYZ in front of something? That means that I'm putting something over top of me. I don't want to say the Pledge of Allegiance. Like, why are you giving me detention because I don't want to say the Pledge of Allegiance? Like, these are the kids that we're raising. We're raising little versions of ourselves. And they are absolutely amazing. And it is an absolute blessing to raise them. But in this material world, while we're in the matrix, our children are the kids that do get picked on the most because they're special, because they're different. Remember what you went through? What you want to do with your children is the same thing that you should be doing with yourself right now. And that's being your kids' biggest heroes. And I know a lot of people say this isn't the right way to go. We're spoiling them, but it is what it is, baby. Spoil your child. Your child, when a teacher calls home, you listen to that teacher and you gain the information, but where the real information comes from, where that real connection comes from, is from your child. You sit down with your child. You don't just go yelling at your kid and beating them and putting them on punishment and acting all crazy because they done got a phone call home. You sit down with your child and you listen to them and you figure out with your mind's eye and with your root chakra, for my chakra people, and with your heart chakras, all chakras activated, and you tap into their energy and you see exactly what's going on. Was your child wrong in this situation, or is your child being misunderstood or picked on even for being different? Those are the conversations that we have to have. We have to go into any type of situations with our kid or with our children or with our seeds or with our suns and our stars and our moons. We have to go into the situation with love. Everything has to be done with love. And I'm telling you guys, if you do come down to the point where you do discover that your children are being humiliated, harassed, verbally assaulted, verbally abused in this school system, then I need for you guys to gather up all of your courage and stand up for your kid. And this may take a lot of days off of work. This may take a lot of emails. Like I always tell my mom, like, ooh, I'm about to email everybody in Jesus. And that is exactly what I do. I email everybody in Jesus. Now, don't get it twisted. There are those kids that know that that's what their mom is all about. By the time you get to the baby knows that mom is a pit bull when it comes to the education system. And they may want to use that information. They may want to use that, to manipulate the system and mom, So you have to sort of like I said, tune into their chakra systems. If you guys don't know what chakras are, that's something for you to research. Tune into their chakra systems. Tune into their energy, their vibrations, and see where this is coming from, if it's the truth or not, okay? And then you can act accordingly. It's super important that we're educating our kids outside of the system. So when it's spring break, we want to take our kids to places that we want to show them that's educational, that's not full of fear. I know, for example, that there is a museum about lynching. It's okay to take your kid to a lynching museum, but you need to make sure that you're explaining to them, what this whole lynching museum is all about. It's okay to take your kids to the Black History Museum that's in Washington, D.C., or there's other ones that's all over the country. But it's important that your kids know what these museums are all about. Like, we got to let them know, this is what Roots is about. This is what Queen is about. This is what, they took it off air, but this is what Underground is about. We gotta let them know what slavery is about. We gotta let them know what the Western movies are about. It's our responsibility to give our children the information that they need so they can stay awakened, right? So they can stay awakened, because when they arrive here, their third eye is operating. That's why they don't have any fear. That's why they're able to still see angels, right? Remember grandma would be like, oh, what are they smiling at? They're smiling at the angels. They're still able to see those angels. It's not until the vaccinations, the immunizations, the fluoride, the processed foods, all of that stuff gets into their systems where they can't see the angels anymore. They don't have that magic anymore. That intuition begins to go away. Remember the kids, if you grew up, you had a friend, you had an imaginary friend. Their imaginations begin to go away. They begin to believe less in magic and more into the system. So it's our responsibility to feed that to them, to show them, right? To definitely show them. Another thing that we have to be careful about is programming. And this one is a very, very touchy subject. It's a hard subject to get around in today's material world. So I'm talking about programming with our news, programming with the books that our children are required to read, programming in the music and television shows. So we are going to get into programming right after this wonderful, wonderful music break. I know that's a lot to talk about. I'm about to get into the comment section. So to my guys watching me on Facebook, welcome. I'm glad you guys are staying with me and spending part of your morning with me and part of your afternoon. To people listening on the app, yo, what's up, what's up, what's up? And to all of my people on YouTube, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe to this video. Gods of the Nile Radio is a self-supporting show, so donations are being accepted. If you guys have PayPal, make sure you send me some money. lovenileradio@gmail.com. I am your hostess with the mostest, Azor Netzugaya, your favorite spiritual author and inspirational speaker, live right here on the WinDC Radio app and YouTube channel. We're heading off to a music break. Go use the restroom, go grab a snack. I'll see you guys really, really soon. Peace.
Compare you to the sun? No, baby, because the sunlight's just too much for me. At times it seems, but I'm at home within your light. Yeah, baby, because the moonlight's always right, just right for me. You see the oceans and all the I watch you moving across it, something sweet. It's like you're walking on water. A piece of something divine made just for me. Got me trembling and shaking from anticipating the moment you shine your light on me. There's nothing I'd rather do than spend an evening with you. So when the sun's going down, I come alive. Because when the moon comes up, time for us, yeah, baby. And it's never long enough, but I'll take my time. In love with the way you shine. So every single night I'll wait for the moon to rise. Now every moment has an end, but letting go don't come easy. Though I know I'll see you again before too long. And even as this day begins, I find myself dreaming about you touching on my skin. Yeah, you see the oceans and all the I I watch you moving across it, soft and sweet. It's like you're walking on water. A piece of something divine made just for me. Got me trembling and shaking from anticipating the moment you shine your light on me. There's nothing I'd rather do than spend an evening with you. So when the sun's going down, I come alive. Because when the moon comes up, hey, oh, there will be time for us, yeah, yeah, baby. And it's never long enough, but I'll take my time in love with the way you shine. So every single night I'll wait for the moon to rise.
The Shops at Iverson is now undergoing a transformation, creating a mixed-use center where the community can come together to eat, shop, relax, and feel connected. The Shops at Iverson is a 600 KSF mixed-use property consisting of retail and office space now available. Located inside the Beltway on Branch Avenue, Maryland, just minutes from downtown D.C. It's an exciting time at the Shops at Iverson. Several beautiful renovation projects are ongoing, transforming the Shops at Iverson into the new safe community hub. DMV, get ready to enjoy the new food court. Opening late spring, early summer, featuring new restaurants like Chipotle, Quickway Hibachi, Tropical Smoothie, Wingstop, and free Wi-Fi. The Shops at Iverson, the original home of the world-famous Snickerdoodle cookies, is completing several cosmetic improvements to the mall interior, facade, and parking garage. The Shops at Iverson is the new home of Go Win Media, comprised of the DMV's premier internet radio stations, Go Radio Live and Win DC Radio. For updates and more details, check out shopiverson.com. That's shopiverson.com. Looking for a new look? Check out Hair Academy 2 in the Shops at Iverson, Hillcrest Heights, Maryland. You'll get quality services done by developing stylists and barbers. Senior discounts offered weekly and free barbershop services available when you present a flyer. Chemical treatments are also available. Call 301-899-9100 for hours of operation. Hair Academy 2 in the Shops at Iverson, 3705 Branch Avenue, Suite 1010, lower level, Hillcrest Heights. A new look is waiting for you at Hair Academy 2.
What's the plan? Hey, hoping that you would give me a chance. Come on, girl, take my hand. What's the plan? Hoping that you would give me a chance. Come on, girl, take my hand. What's the plan? What's the plan? Tell me what's the plan. No, I play my cards like I have the perfect hand. To let you slip away from me, yeah, I be damned. Here, take my hand, let's dance, get groovy. Bitches see me with you, they wishing that they knew me. Try to talk to me, hit them with the 2-3. Excuse me, but I'm working my way to a cutie. I ain't got time for the loosies. Body on body, don't separate. Here's a towel, wipe the sweat away. Now I'm here for the night, I plan to stay. All red, flush my face from the rum. You can get a taste, yeah. Hey. Hoping that you would give me a chance. Come on, girl, take my hand. What's the plan? Hoping that you would give me a chance. Come on, girl, take my hand. What's the plan? When I looked in her eyes, I knew the type of man I wanted to be. Yeah. And when I looked in her eyes, I knew the places that I wanted to see. Hey. When I looked in her eyes, I knew the type of man I wanted to be. Yeah. And when I looked in her eyes, I knew the places that I wanted to see. What's the plan? Hey. Hoping that you would give me a chance. Come on, girl.
What am I supposed to do when the world's against me? Does anybody really care? I don't know. My enemies are like my friends, getting closer to me. Don't wanna be alone. People smiling in my face, and I know they hate me. They wanna call my name out just for show. And they'll be knocking on my door, but they won't find me. 'Cause I'll be cleansing my soul. Cleansing my soul. I wanna live a decent life, all the angels with me. The devil's playing with my head, and I don't know. I only wanna do what's right, but it's so hard for me. Don't wanna lose control. The voices are getting loud, and the demons tell me. They pressure me in what to do and where to go. They'll be knocking on my door, but they won't find me. 'Cause I'll be cleansing my soul. Freeing my soul. Feeding my soul. Healing my soul. Now when my soul is in question, there's one lesson to be learned in the concern through my confessions about the blessings that are constantly bestowed my way in spite of my iniquities that I portray every day. And when the devil tries to put me on his level, I'll stand true and tall with the angels like a rebel. And as I live my days out, I'ma praise out till I'm gray and old to the one who gives me peace, mind, body, soul. I don't have the time to make you understand me. There's too much I gotta do, let the truth be told. So you can keep being fake and talk about me. But remember, you reap what you sow. I see the struggles way ahead with the ones that spy me. But I'm okay and I'm prepared, 'cause now I know. So don't come knocking on my door, 'cause you won't find me. 'Cause I'll be cleansing my soul. Freeing my soul. Feeding my soul. Healing my soul. Cleansing my soul.
And then there's YouTube, Guys of the Nile radio YouTube channel. But you want to make sure you like and comment and subscribe to this video. That's what we're subscribe if you're watching on YouTube, but share it. You know, share it. I'm running through some basic information that a lot of us, you know, spiritual beings or people who have been along this holistic journey. I'm sharing a lot of information of things that we already know, but it's okay to keep the conversation going and kind of generate the conversation in your community. It's sort of like a friendly reminder that you're not alone. I've been going through this path, especially when it comes to being vegan or vegetarian and taking care of my kids and making sure that my children have the most, you know, the most nutritious food going into their bodies, making sure that they're grounding themselves with with sports or going outside and going to the park, you know. So there's a lot of things that I have been doing for a very long time, but sometimes it's just so refreshing to have a conversation with other parents or other spiritual beings or holistic beings, and just having that conversation and just being like, wow, I'm not the only one that's alone. I'm not the only one that busts out in tears when my child needs to take prescribed medicine or needs a shot. You know, I mean, I'm an empath, so I wear my heart on my sleeve, man. I'm so emotional all the time, like that song, I get so emotional, baby. Not a singer. I'm just a radio personality. But I get very emotional when it comes time to go to the doctors. I took Princeton to the doctors last week because he was having some sinus issues. And I had a really, really good doctor that understood, you know, she had an understanding that I didn't want him to take any prescription medicine. So she gave me like the holistic way of kind of getting him better and dealing with his allergies, which was really easy. He just needed to do a nasal flush in the morning. A nasal flush, good old fashioned blow with some herbs. Not blow like the, like blow your nose, that kind of blowing. and lots and lots of water. And he has been doing a great job. So now Tizlom is feeling, DJ Tiz, as you know him, he's feeling a little nasally, and I can see like his nose is just full and he's puffy, you know, so I know that he needs a good cleansing as well. But those are the things that, like, as moms, as holistic moms, that we're like, oh my God, my kid needs to take medicine. No. And then we're teaching them things at home about, you know, the real story, the real truth behind the veil, you know. And here we have to send them off to, you know, public school systems or whatever the case may be. And they have to operate in this material world. But what we're going to get into now is programming, because this is, I think, out of all of the things that we have to go through. Thank you for those hearts. I love my hearts. Thank you. And before this slips my mind, I want to give a shout out to Rocky Mount, North Carolina. My family's in the building. There's my own horn, tooting my own horn. And definitely to my independent artists. Shout out to Janae, man. I always say her name wrong. I don't know what it is. I think I want to rename her. Like, she's like a goddess to me. I want to rename her. Saint Janae. But yeah, let me get back on track. So I want to get into the most difficult part of being a holistic parent. The most difficult part of being a spiritual parent. And that is programming and protecting your children from programming. Protecting your children from what's on the television, what's on the news. God knows, turn that news off. I said 1,000,000 times. What's on the radio, protecting them from the Amigos of the world, the Cardi B's of the world, the Kardashians of the world, or Kardashians of the world is what we call them. But protecting them. Like, how do you maneuver in that system? How do you maneuver when they have friends who have parents that just allow for their children to run wild? Well, the very first thing that we need to do as spiritual beings, as spiritual parents and holistic parents, is we need to find our tribe. Like, that is the very first thing that we need to do. In our development of ourselves, and our self-loving, and our caring, and creating the environment that we want to see for ourselves and for our families, we have to start connecting to one another that has the same way of thinking that we have. That is so important. That way you know that when little Johnny goes over to LaQuisha's house, you know that he's going to get a healthy meal. You know that she has the same moral as you guys. Like, you know that he's going to be in a healthy environment where he is stimulated intellectually. You know what I mean? Like, he's vibing. He's vibrating on a high frequency. You know what I mean? You don't want to have friends who aren't on the same vibe as you, and who aren't parenting along the same way that you're parenting. You know what I mean? And when it comes to being vegan and not vegan and things like that, like, those things are important. So when on your off time, you want to make sure that you're showing your children your friends, you know, your wonderful, amazing, intelligent, holistic friends. And what's going to happen is when they go to school, they're going to gravitate towards that community themselves. And they're going to have a support system in their schools or on their football teams or in cheerleading. They're going to have that support system away from you as well. You'll be surprised how they emulate almost everything that we do, especially when it comes to friend selection. So when it comes to programming, like, we almost have to get into it with them. We almost have to expose ourselves to these things or to this outside world. I know I love my bubble, but I have to expose myself to Cardi B. I have to expose myself to the Amigos. I have to expose myself to the internet in order to be on that same type of frequency that I may need to be on in order to hold a conversation with my children when they may be operating in a low vibrational state. I got to be able to walk the walk. I got to be able to talk the talk. I got to be able to be relatable to them. And most importantly, I have to always be my children's favorite hero. So if I notice that my youngest son is into anime, then I don't care too much for anime, but I have to sit there and watch it with him at least a little bit just to see what he's into. And if there's something going on in the anime that I don't approve of, or it's making my chakras feel a little weird and icky, I gotta express that to my son, but without degrading his taste. You know what I mean? Like by saying like, yo, this seems a little weird. Like, why do you like this cartoon show? You know what I mean? And actually having that conversation without yelling and screaming, turn it off, or not allowing for him to watch it. You know what I mean? But if it comes down to the point where he can't watch something, then there needs to be a conversation as to why. I know that, like, during my experience and anything that I do, I always have to know why. And that the reason why I have to know why is because I arrived here on this planet woke as hell. I arrived on this planet wide awoke, and I asked the preacher why, I asked the teacher why, I asked my boss why. If you want me to do something, you got to tell me why I'm doing it. Like, you have to tell me why I'm doing it. If you're not telling me why I'm doing it, then it's just not important to me, and I'm not paying you any attention. I'm gonna do what I want to do anyway. Don't you got some kids like that? Very stubborn and headstrong. They need to know the why. So when they're listening to the music, you have to listen to that music along with them just for a little bit, just to know what's going in their ears. And also, you need to know what you're going up against, right? Because if they're listening to, you know, music where they're hearing a lot of itches and garden supplies, you know what I mean? And you guys know what I'm talking about. That's what they're hearing. If they're listening to music that's degrading their women, if they're listening to music that's degrading them as being human beings, then that's what we as parents are going up against. So we have to expose ourselves to that frequency so that we can know how to approach the situation. You know what I mean? Because mind you, they're walking around 24/7 with these earbuds in, and God knows what in the hell they're listening to. Or we know if we're psychic. My son's giving me the eyeball right now. I'm like, wait a minute, I have earbuds in my ear, and I'm not listening to anything weird. But hey, kids are different strokes for different folks, right? We're also going to talk about programming in our television, the TV shows. We have to be conscious of that. Now, my kids are a little different. They are more into sports. They more like to control what they're watching a lot more. And I don't know if that's coming from me being their mom, but they don't really kind of just watch a lot of MTV or VH1 or all of the fighting shows. But I know that a lot of kids in their schools, like in their classroom, or that a lot of their peers do. And one thing that concerns me, and what I'm seeing as a direct reflection of all of these reality shows and all of the fighting that's going on the reality shows, is that it's seeping, and the fighting too that's on YouTube too, it's seeping into our classrooms. Each and every day, there has not been a day that I can think of that has gone by where my middle son has not come home and told me, Mommy, there was a fight today at school, or this kid got jumped at school today, or this person was fighting this person, or that person was fighting that person. His whole conversation is not about what he learned in school today. His whole conversation is survival. Like how he survived not being knocked down the stairs because someone was fighting. You know what I mean? And education and sending your children off to school should not be about survival, how you survive. You know what I mean? It's supposed to be quiet. It's supposed to be learning. But if you look around in your communities with all this gentrification that's going on, you're seeing they're building tons and tons and tons and tons of single family homes, tons of them, and no schools. So our class sizes was normally 32 to a classroom. Well, I don't know how it is in your area, guys, but I know in the state of Maryland and PG County, we're now looking at close to 40 students, one teacher in a classroom. My son just yelled out 45 to 56 students in a classroom. And you wonder why they're fighting one another. They can't even breathe in all that oxygen. If you're an empath, do you know how much energy that is? Oh my God. Freak time. I'm freaking out by it. So what I want to say is it's so important that we begin to awaken, we begin to ask questions. It's so important that we begin to walk in our life paths because our children need us. Our children need us to be doctors. Our children need us to be teachers. Our children need us to build and create an environment that's going to last into the 7th generation, that's going to last beyond our own lifetimes. We have to build this for them, okay? So I'm gonna let all that swirl around in your head, programming, and we're gonna take another music break and we'll be right back. Thanks for tuning in, guys, to Guys in the Nile Radio, live right here in the Win DC Radio studio and all of their social media platforms. Peace.
You wanna stretch your mind one time. We can just sit here, get high off life. I can show you the whole universe inside of you. Now, meditate. I can teach you how to stretch your mind one time. We can just sit here, get high off life. I can show you the whole universe inside of you. Now, meditate. Trying to cross your legs or anything like that. I just want you to get comfortable. Close your eyes and relax. That's right. Now, take a moment to collect yourself. Now, tell me, have you ever met yourself? First off, I think we need to discuss what meditation really is. Some think of it as time to relax or an opportunity to face their fears. I ain't saying those thoughts aren't right, but those are more like bonuses. Why shoot for a piece of the pie when we can have co-ownership? I started out looking for some sort of sign. Then I heard somebody whisper, let me open up your mind. Don't get blinded by the lights. There's more here for you to see than myself. Said to self, take some time and look for me. You got everything you need to get anything you want, but first I gotta help you to remember what you are. He said everything without is the same as what's within. Then she told me to let go of all my doubts and start again. Breathe in. Release. Now stop trying to control it and just observe as the breath flows in and out. I want you to notice that the body continues to breathe on its own with no direction from you. Now I want you to realize that the thing that observes the breath is something different from the thing that is breathing. You are the thing that hears but not the ears. I can teach you how to stretch your mind one time. We can just sit here, get high off life. I can show you the whole universe inside of you. Now, meditate. I can teach you how to stretch your mind one time. We can just sit here, get high off life. I can show you the whole universe inside of you. Now, meditate.
message after the tone. When you are finished, you may hang up or press 1 for special options.
I know you're by your phone, and I know you ain't alone. I'm trying to find the issue. You've got some issues, I've got some issues, ones we should tend to. Yeah. So I hit you up in the nighttime. When is it ever the right time? 'Cause you're always too busy for me. You're always too busy for me. Question, tell me what you think about me. I buy my own diamonds and I buy my own rings. Only real silly when I'm feeling lonely. I got this liquor on my breath, and I know I sound a mess. I don't know what I'll say next, but you ain't gotta lie to me. You ain't gotta lie. You ain't gotta lie to me. You ain't gotta lie. You ain't gotta lie to me. Oh, I'd rather be crazy than to be sorry for, or to feel insecure. To tell the truth, I've been so blinded by love. Try to walk away, but I just can't get enough. You turning off your phone now, blocking all my calls now. You know, comments coming back around. Question, tell me what you think about me. I buy my own diamonds and I buy my own rings. I only read you silly when I'm feeling lonely. I got this liquor on my breath, and I know I sound a mess. I don't know what I'll say next, but you ain't gotta lie to me. No, you ain't gotta lie. You ain't gotta lie to me. Oh, no, you ain't gotta lie. No, you ain't gotta lie to me. No. Why you build me up, then you break me down? Why? You ain't gotta lie to me. Got this liquor on my breath, and I know I sound a mess. I don't know what I'll say next, but you ain't gotta lie to me. No, you ain't gotta lie. You ain't gotta lie to me. Oh, you ain't gotta lie. No, you ain't gotta lie to me.
You may now hang up to send your message. To receive your message, press 2. To record your message, press 3. To send your message and return to the main menu, press 4. Thank you for calling. Goodbye.
Well, I'm going to try this again. Can we take it from the top? We're going to take it from the top, y'all, because I was getting all in my groove. Wasn't I groove in Princeton? We're going to take it from the top. Rewind. Or no. There we go. There we go. Welcome back, guys, to Goddess of the Nile Radio. Shout out to Gina. Philly is in the building. Gina's like, wait a minute. I can't hear the queen. Wait a minute. Thanks, baby. Thanks, sis. My sisters are always supported. I love you guys. Shout out to Gina and Masani and Shondell. And oh my God, you guys, I love you guys so much. I know I'm missing some people because it's a whole laundry list. I love you all. Thank you for supporting and keeping us in line here. Because we are on the Nile. And we riding on the Nile. Man, it gets a little emotional up here in these streets. It gets a little emotional up in these streets. But welcome back to WinDC Radio. Welcome back to Goddess of the Nile Radio live on all of the social media platforms. Because I have to share this most important piece of this show today with you guys. And that's breaking generational curses. This whole entire show, the whole entire Trumpinomics experience is about breaking generational curses. It's about stepping into your role as a earth parent. It's about being your child's hero. It's about being your hero. It's about breaking generational curses. It's about breaking the curses of feeding your kid medicine. They're talking too much. They're active in school. They don't know how to sit down and shut up and be quiet. Those things that we were told as a child should be seen and never heard. It's breaking those generational curses. Because when you're constantly telling your child to be quiet, to go somewhere and sit down, to not speak their mind, when you don't allow for them to be themselves, to live in the moment, what you're doing is you're holding them back. You're giving them pain and hurt that they're going to have to eventually have to heal from when they get older. Our children need to know that they are our future. They need to know each and every day how important they are to us. When we get upset and we yell and we holler and we scream at them and we say something that we shouldn't say to them, because we're humans too. We ain't always perfect. You got to circle right back around and you got to let that baby know, baby, I love you and I'm sorry for talking to you like that. I love you. You are amazing. We have to take those words of negativity that we want to say to our kids, and we got to somehow figure out how to turn that moment into a positive moment, into a moment where we're sharing our love and guiding them, because they need to know when they out here in that cruel world, they can always come back home to mom. They can always come back home to dad. They will never be judged. We are their happy place. We got to break those generational curses. We got to break those generational curses when it comes to education, to our education systems. We got to start supporting our independent artists, our independent entrepreneur, our small business owner. We got to start supporting our spiritual leaders, the ones who had to leave the matrix so they can be able to learn, so they can be able to teach. We got to start supporting them, because they're the ones who's going to go on the hill and fight for you. Those are your freedom fighters. They're the ones that's going to go down to that school and root and go toe-to-toe with the system for your kid. We got to start supporting them. We got to start doing our own research. We got to start having our own education time in our household. We got to take advantage of our spring breaks, our summer breaks, and our winter breaks, and coming together as a community and teaching our kids. Teaching them the ancient ways, teaching them the lost information, teaching them the stuff that's not in their books or our system. And we also got to fight to begin to have that stuff, some type of reform in our system. How do we decolonize? Through action. All over the world, guys, we got to decolonize through our actions. We got to decolonize in Chile. We got to decolonize in Hawaii. We got to decolonize in Canada. We got to decolonize in Africa, Europe. We got to decolonize, y'all. We got to get our stuff back. We got to take back what's ours. And the only way that we can do that is through educating our children. And that is done through meditation, believe it or not. The first place to start, where do I start, Azor? Meditation, my love. Being still in your thoughts for a moment. Being still and listening to the words of your ancestors. Being still and listening to the words of spirit coming through your ears, anointing your mind and touching your soul. We gotta be still so we can hear the wind and the ancient language blowing through our ears, blowing through our locks. We have to be still and pay attention to the trees and that bee that just keeps showing up. Maybe that's Oshun. Hey, Oshun. Hey, girl. We have to be still, and it does all begin with meditation. But Azor, when I meditate, my mind, it just keeps going and going and going and going. That's what it's supposed to do. Welcome to meditation. That's what it is. It's your mind going and going and going and going. It's you figuring out how to slow that mind down and those thoughts down. That's what it's all about. We have to break those generational curses with programming. If we grew up listening to NWA, if we grew up, pee popping in a handstand, it's time for us to break those generational curses and teach our young ladies and teach our young men how wonderful they are, how beautiful their temples are, how amazing and special they are. We have to break generational curses and allow for people to come back on the porch when they've messed up. We can't hold a grudge with someone because we're disappointed in them or because they didn't do something the way that we wanted them to do it. We can't carry that on. We can't treat our future that way. We got to stop it. It stops today. Oh, but my child is disrespectful to me, blah, 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 blah. Listen, you light some candles, you burn some sage, shout out to bellbookandbluemagic.com, but you light some candles, you burn some sage, you learn how to meditate, and if you can't talk to your child on the human level, on the human playing field in this 3D dimension, then you do the research and you learn how to meditate and go higher than them, where you're not talking to them, the human on this 3D dimension, but you're having a conversation in a higher upper plane with the higher version of themselves. Anytime that somebody not listening to you, not paying attention to you, disrespecting you, and you can't talk to them one-on-one, human being to human being, then you have a spiritual conversation. You take it up another level and you go higher on their hind pots and watch things change. That's how you break the generational curses. When you have grown up in a world or an environment where you just weren't able to be you, or you were looked at as being weird or different, open up the wound, man. Open up yourself. Be vulnerable around your kids. I know that we as copper-toned people, we were taught that, like, don't ever, excuse me, sorry about that, green juice, my bad. Don't ever let your kids see you cry. Don't ever let them see you cry. Don't ever let them see you hurt. Don't ever let them see you struggle. They should never see you struggle. Like, who made that up? Your kids got to see you being real. Because when you're real and when you're letting your heart out and when you're wearing your heart on your sleeve and you're being real and you're showing your emotions to them, you're showing your weaknesses to them, your strengths to them, guess what? That lets them know that mommy is human. Daddy is human. Auntie is human. Uncle is human. They're human. They feel stuff too. And what that does is that opens up a communication, a bond of trust. I can trust my mom because my mom comes to me and she lets me know that she has tough days too. I can open up to my mom because my mom knows what it feels like to be bullied and harassed too, or to be a survivor of something too. We have to share our experiences, not only with the outside world, but we have to share them within our family circles too. And I see this all the time on Facebook, Why is so-and-so and so-and-so telling all their business to the world? Listen, that post may not be for you, but that may be for somebody down the street. Who knows? I always say that your timeline can be someone's lifeline. So I'm all for sharing your personal business on Facebook. Oh my God, what's going on? Spirit getting to me. Excuse me. I'm getting choked up. I drank all my water, but it's all good. I'm gonna get through it. I know that like another generational curse that we go through within our family system is mental illness. A lot of families, especially families of copper tone, melanated families, they don't like to talk about mental illnesses. They don't want to talk about, you know, the things, the secrets in the closet that may be going on, like manic depression. There we go, got it up. But like manic depression, just depression in a whole, anxiety, all of these different things we don't want to talk about. We don't want to accept the fact that so-and-so was self-medicating themselves because of the voices in their heads. A lot of times those mental illnesses are really spiritual gifts that we haven't figured out how to balance them yet. It's our gifts that we haven't figured out how to control them yet, how to use them yet for good. And a generational curse is not having those conversations, keeping those conversations quiet, keeping those conversations at bay. We have to learn as families how to sit down at the table and have healthy conversations about what's going on with our families. Like seriously, if someone in your family is messing up and bringing that negative energy to the family circle and to the unit, don't go talking behind that person and gossiping behind their back. Everyone needs to have a sit down. Everyone needs to get it out and talk about it. Don't go run hiding from those serious conversations. Generational curses can also include abuse. You know, your grandmother beat the crap out of your mother, and now your mother done beat the crap out of you. And now you have this child that's opinionated, that has the same type of energy that you have. And the first thing you want to do is beat the crap out of them. Well, this is where we're going to stop this madness. We're going to stop it. We're not going to lay a hand on our kids. We're going to teach our kids differently. What did you want as a child? How do you want to be treated as a child? Did you want someone to just sit down with you and listen to you? Did you want someone just to take you somewhere and take you to the park or spend time with you, teach you how to ride a bicycle? What did you want? Because that outcry that your child is having may be because they want some of the things that you were missing as a kid. So give it to them. You got to break that generational curse. If your generational curse is not talking about your body, maybe not having a conversation about sex, good touch, bad touch, or what does a real relationship look like? Having relationships conversations, having dreams conversations. What is it like to be an entrepreneur? What is it like to go to college? Even if you've never been, you know, just what it's like to be 100 and 1000% supportive of your child, even if maybe you never had anyone in your corner. Break that generational curse. You have to be your child's biggest hero. They are counting on you. They chose you for a reason. And when you're at odds with one another, break the generational curse. Learn how to say, I'm sorry. Learn how to say, I forgive you. Learn how to sit down and talk about it, where you have a moment to talk and then you're quiet and you're allowing them to have a moment to talk. And then you guys come together and you have some type of understanding with one another. I can't tell you how much and how important those conversations are. I know sometimes when I bring my kids into my bedroom, because they don't come into my bedroom any other time except for when it's time to have the talk, sometimes they want to go run and hide. Like, oh God, here mom goes with the feeling talk again. You know what I mean? And I'm like, yeah, we got to talk about it. We got to get it out of our chest, off our chest. And sometimes the hurt, you know, I'm not saying that you're going to talk about it and it's going to be over. Sometimes it's going to be situations that hurt a lot deeper than other situations. And you have to keep having those conversations if you need to. but you also have to give yourself time to heal, and you have to give the other person time to heal too. Breaking the generational curses is giving yourself time to heal and acknowledging your differences, acknowledging that you're different, acknowledging that there's pain there, acknowledging that you were wrong or they were wrong. That's what it's all about. Ooh, that was a mouthful. But that is a part of Trumpinomics. In this world of Trumpinomics, we're growing up in a society where there's racism rhetoric everywhere you go. We're growing up in a world where our president has Twitter fingers. He's just a hot mess, the hottest mess you'll ever want to see. You know, and then that type of attitude is seeping into our homes, is seeping into our environments. Trumpinomics is actually AKA the age of Aquarius. That's what Trumpinomics is. We're not even going to feed into the MSNBC bull ass, the CNN bull ass, what we're seeing on the news. We're not even going to feed into that. Trumpinomics equals the age of Aquarius. Trumpinomics equals the uprising of our people, the awakening of the third eye. Trumpinomics has us out in nature, sucking up that sun, having us taking off our shoes and feeling the grass in between our toes. Trumpinomics is having conversations with your neighbor. Trumpinomics is picking up that phone and holding a conversation and saying, I love you, I care about you, how are you doing today? Yeah, we're flipping it. Trumpinomics is building that business. Trumpinomics is following your dreams. Trumpinomics is moving on in spite of. Trumpinomics is growing. It's developing your community. It's being involved, right? Trumpinomics is going back to the ancient ways of doing things. That's Trumpinomics, baby. Trumpinomics is not what they want us to believe in. It's what we decide to believe in. We are the creators of our today and our tomorrow. We are the creators of our environments. We are the creators of the world. And it's time for us to step up into our energy fields. It's time for us to step up to our life purpose and our missions and take on the responsibility of taking care of this planet, of taking care of one another, and creating an environment of love, peace, and harmony, not for now, but for our 7th generation. Every single moment of your life has to be for your 7th generation. You got to leave something behind for them. Because if not, Trumpinomics can also destroy us if we're not paying attention. Stop handing over the mission to those who don't care about you and take ownership of what belongs to you directly. Yes, yes, yes. That's Trumpinomics, baby. Spirituality 101. Well, guys, that is all of our time here. We're getting towards the end of the show. And I just want to take the time to thank you for supporting Goddess of the Nile Radio. This is season 2 here on Wendy C Radio. I want to make sure that you are tapped in by following me on Facebook, Azor Netarugaya. I am also a little risque on Instagram. So if you guys like a little risque, head on over to Instagram. It's divine_Azor on Instagram. Love Now Radio is also on Instagram. That's like a lot of news stuff, is where I post a lot of news stuff, especially indigenous information. So shout out to the Indigenous Peoples Movement. We are a self-supporting show, so we are accepting donations. Send us some money, please. Keep the lights on, keep the microphone on. You're going to send your donations to lovenowradio@gmail.com. That's via PayPal, and that is lovenowradio@gmail.com. Let's see, what else? If you're looking for spiritual finds, you know, if you need a numerology reading, because I am a numerology reader. I'm a little psychic too. Or if you need a motivational speaker or inspirational coach, you can head on over to bellbookandbluemagic.com. That's bellbookandbluemagic.com. Let's see, what else is going on? I think that's pretty much it. I think that's it. I will be here each and every Sunday from 11 o'clock a.m. to 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's live right here in the Wendy C Radio studio. You can take me anywhere by downloading the app, Win DC Radio, all one word. Is found in your Play stores, iTunes, App stores, all that good stuff. And of course, you can watch me live on their social media platforms and on YouTube. So that is all the rundown of all of the blah, blah, blahs. I want to thank my independent artists for submitting your music. If you are an independent artist and you have clean, conscious music that you want to share with the world, because the whole entire world watches my show. Shout out to Africa. South Africa's in the building. Yes, I love my South Africans. They're in the building. So the whole entire world watches this show. And if you want to be a part of it, if you're an independent artist, make sure you mail your MP3 music, right? Mail that on over to lovenowradio@gmail.com. I know I'm giving tons and tons of information. So before I let you go, I got to give you things to research, okay? So have your pens and pencils ready if you don't already. I need for you guys to research vaccinations and immunizations, the harm that they can cause to your children, okay? I also want you to research, thank you guys so much for those hearts, I love them. I want you guys to also research how to safely detox your children after they have the immunizations done, okay? So I need for you guys to research that. I want you guys to also research programming. How to like parent at home or decolonize your home so your child can learn or stay awakened in a stimulating environment, how to keep that frequency up. And a lot of us need to research how to parent your spiritually gifted child. Because I have 3 amazing spiritually gifted sons. And I've been so blessed with them, and I'm so glad that they chose me. But how to keep that conversation alive, right? And I'll give you one tip right here and right now. Allow for them to be spiritually gifted. I remember when Princeton was a baby, Princeton would be like, I remember when we was at this place and I didn't have the information, and I would tell him, you wasn't there yet. But now I have the information. Maybe he was there. Maybe he was my angel following me the whole entire time. And when he felt like it was time for me to go move forward with my mission, he implanted himself into this world. You know what I mean? Who knows? Being spiritual, the possibilities are endless. That's what this is all about. It's all about walking to your own drum, walking to your own beat, and connecting to your tribe. I think it was Masani that said, your vibe attracts your tribe. Shout out to Masani. She's so dope. But that's what it's all about. It's not about being in the box. It's not about having these restrictions anymore. So I am very thankful for my journey. I know that I have been through hell and high water to get to you guys. And I wouldn't change anything for the world. I want to give peace and blessings to my ancestors, to my spiritual guides. I want to give peace and blessings to my ancestors and my spiritual guides. I must have to say it twice. Peace and blessings to your ancestors, your spiritual guides. Peace and blessings to the energies that brought us here together today. Peace and blessings to the frequency of the world, the frequency of change, and the frequency of the age of Aquarius. I am your author and your favorite inspirational coach and speaker, Azur Netarugaya. Thank you so much for joining me here today on Goddess of the Nile Radio, live right here in the Win DC Radio studio. I'll catch you guys next Sunday, same frequency, same time. Set yourself a reminder, and don't forget to like, comment, and share this video. We are out of here, guys. Enjoy the rest of the music. Have a wonderful week. You are creators, and never ever forget that. The universe is always providing your favor, no matter what the appearances are. You rock, I rock, we rock, the world rocks, right? Have a great week, guys. I'm out of here. Peace.
You are now listening to Goddess of the Nile Radio.
It is your birthright to accept and receive the goodness of the world, the tools to create your destiny, the love and nourishment from others, a life of abundance, days filled with propositions, Manifested success coming from places that serve you. Manifested success poured into your life and the lives of others. You are guided and given the authority to receive the gifts of the universe. For these gifts have already been given to you long before your arrival here. Your faith in yourself makes it real and opens the doors for manifestation to rush in. Your consciousness is open to receive and to give. It is your birthright, and it is done now.
You are now listening to Goddess of the Nile Radio.
Through this mantra of manifestation, all things are possible. We proclaim absolutely that all of us are living in a friendly universe that is always providing for us. We have felt it happening and we are feeling it happening now. We are open to receive more abundance than we have ever experienced before. We can afford and do anything that our heart desires. We need never to worry again. We are filled with an attitude of gratitude for what we already have and all that we are giving and ready to give. We keep ourselves lifted in high consciousness no matter what the appearances are. The universe is always providing in our favor. We are creators of our today and our tomorrow.
Reciting a mantra is an excellent way to start your day. Calm you down while you are upset and refocus your consciousness. For a copy of this mantra, please feel free to visit our Patreon account by searching for Goddess of the Nile Radio on patreon.com. It's your girl Azur Netarugaya, and I'm out. Peace.
You are now listening to Goddess of the Nile